That was pretty cool. And you know what? Everybody watching this right now, you're all pretty cool. Yes, I'm still podcasting from my old bedroom back at my parents' place. I'm still here. This may be my last week here, though, so we'll see. But thank you for joining, everybody. We are Rumble Pop Live Edition. Wow, it's so good to see all your faces, all your smiling, sunshiny faces. It's definitely a Monday. I can feel it. You know, we can all feel it. But it's our goal here to make your Monday a little brighter. So if we can do that, we've done our jobs. Kevin is not wearing pants, so that's a good start for some of you that may like Kevin Sands pants. I don't know. It might be your thing. But anyway, Kevin, I'm going to do some stuff in the background. Kevin, you just go ahead and take it away with the intros and what we're going to be talking about.
All right, we're going to turn those Monday blues into Monday joy. Welcome to the Rumble Pop. And now I'm going to introduce to you my co-host and co-conspirators. First, we're going to go to that great state of Ohio. He is the executive producer and co-founder of the Real Short Box and Rumble Pop. He is Bruce Campbell's #2 fan. He is DC Comics for life. And if you have a problem with it, he just might pop you in the mouth. He is one of the best looking men of North Hollywood, California. He was voted that back in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, the socially lubricated, the madman, known as the original Duh!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Stop. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Next, we're coming back over to the West Coast. We're going to a young lady who is from that great Pine Street of Maine. She is the Empress of Disney Knowledge. She is the co-host of the podcast Yesterday, Tomorrow, and Fantasy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our special guest returning. She is the tranquil, the tender, the tantalizing Miss Tracy Lou.
Hello.
Wow, that was intense.
Last, but certainly not least, we're now coming to the Midwest. We're going to go to Oklahoma. We're going to go to a very special, talented young man. He is a man who was one of the most powerful and greatest ArcLight theater men. He resides in that beautiful city of Tulsa. He is an excellent filmmaker and actor extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome return to the Oklahoma heartthrob. He is the full Monty. Sure.
Nice. That's really good.
And of course, I am your humble podcaster, the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, your Supreme Chancellor, Brother Kevin. Tonight, brothers and sisters of YouTube land, we are going to do the opposite of what we did last week. Last week, we gave you the ugly, worst remake movies.
Oh, yeah,
Now
there's some bad ones.
We're going to give you the sweet, good, best movie remakes out there of the last 50 years. So let's have some fun. We have a nice list that we're going to get through tonight. We're going to discuss, most of them, as many as we can get through in this 90-minute or less live stream. So please comment and have some fun with us tonight.
We're going to have some fun. It's going to be so much fun. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't contain the amount of fun I feel right now inside. I'm so excited about this.
I see the joy in your heart.
Yes, it's there. It's there.
He looks very excited.
There's so much joy. Wait. Hey! Yes, that's right. The drum is back. We've got some rim shots waiting for you. Kevin, don't get excited. I didn't say rim jobs. I said rim shots, okay? So
what's a rim job?
Well, I'll pay someone to show you.
Okay.
Nice lady named Cinnamon, or maybe Candy.
Cinnamon.
And you'll just go into a dark room. You'll get a nice massage. It won't cost you anything. I'll pay my treat. And then
hey, Kevin, it always ends happy.
Yeah,
I see.
Show you what a job is. Now, don't ask if if you can get a raise afterwards, because that's no, you've completed that job, and you don't. There's no more monetary comp. No, you don't ask. Okay, so just we'll go
Okay.
through. We'll go through all the do's and don'ts later. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh, hey, Sammy. She says, oh, hi, Donald. Dear Lord, someone take those drums away. Whatever. Enrique's in the house. Enrique! That's right. Enrique's here, and he's come to party. Let's see. Maria's here. Howdy, howdy, everybody. Howdy, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Hi,
You
Maria.
may
And your
not
mom
have
and your mom
been.
and your mom and dad is here too, right?
Yes, Mom and Dad is here. Everybody say hi to my mom and dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad. Thanks for joining. They are over at the care facility, hanging out, where my mom gets her
Treatment.
physical therapy, and they're just chilling with the iPad, watching. So that's pretty cool.
Is she improving?
Yes. A
Good.
lot of improvement. A lot of improvement. She's
Good.
dancing now, which is ballroom
That's
dancing.
good.
I didn't know she could do that, but she's doing it.
Oh, that's
Well,
amazing.
nothing but prayers.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you, sir. Speaking of my mom's killer dance moves, let's talk about Killer Pickle for a moment. Did you see what I did there? That's right. Go to HassHotSauce.com, type in the coupon code Donald Hiccups, and get 10% off your order. You can get a lovely bottle of hot sauce, such as this Killer Pickle. That's a very hot dill pickle sauce. It's delightful on eggs, breakfast foods in general. Pour this bitch on there and enjoy the fiery goodness that is Killer Pickle. And you can find that once again at halfshotsauce.com. I will put it in the chat, and put in coupon code Donald Hiccups for 10% off your order. There we go. Boom. Haha. How about that? Okay. Enrique says, sweet shots, water. That's true. And he loves pickleback. So you can do killer pickleback, Enrique. I don't know if that would work, but you could try it. Oh, that'd probably be terrible, actually. You get the shits. Yeah, you would. Speaking of which, getting the shits, my sister's cat shit all over the floor.
What's the name? What's the cat's name?
Ninja.
Oh, I
It's
like
very
that name.
apropos. So
I
Ninja
like that
killed
name.
3 mice, tore the head off of one. I couldn't find the head, but I found the body, and then I found the other 2
He
Wow.
will
mice.
eventually.
They'll find it eventually. I don't know. I didn't have all night to go looking for like mice heads or some shit. So there was that. That was fun. It's a good thing we're not talking about Disney films tonight, because that would not be a good mix. But good remakes, sure, why not? We can throw that in there, right? I
Tom
think
and
we can.
Jerry, you know.
Tom and Jerry, Itchy and Scratchy, maybe
Itchy
a
and
little bit
Scratchy.
more than Tom and Jerry. Yeah. So again, if you see a large amount of mess behind me, it's just because I'm in my old childhood home, and it's being used as a gently used as a storage facility, one might say, for extra things. So there's that.
Extra things, you say.
Extra things, yes. Like you, Kevin, you're just extra all the
I
time,
see. Hmm.
all the time. So when we talk about the worst remakes, some of the worst movies we've ever seen when it comes to remakes, basically, Chris brought up a good point last week. He brought up a point where he said, now, from a literary point, if it is pulling from the source material, is the first movie that's created, that is the movie version based off of the material. Now, is another movie that cometh out based off of that literary material, or is it based off of that first movie? And does that then equate a remake for that film? So I kind of want to get some of you other gents and ladies to weigh in on your thoughts. So Monty, Tracy, what do you think about that?
That's hard to say because go ahead if you want to, Tracy.
No, you
I
go
was just
ahead.
going to say it's kind of one of those things. That's a very good question, because something that's adapted from a novel or a short story, what have you, which is the OG? And film wise, you look at things like I Am Legend, that's been off of Richard Matheson's short story or novel, but it's been adapted a few
Multiple
times
times.
now.
That's right.
So it's like, what do you go back to? It's like, what's considered, is Omega Man considered a decent remake?
The Last Man on
Is
Earth.
Last Man on Earth? Is I Am Legend with Will Smith? It's like hard to decide because it's been adapted enough times at this point.
Right.
It's like, okay. It's like, you almost get to the point now, and it's like now they're working on the Will Smith version like sequel and stuff, and it's like, okay, how many times, how many iterations? So I guess it comes down to matter of taste.
Okay, that's fair. Tracy, what do you think?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things that, like, let's take for instance the Harry Potter series, right? Like, that was not really adapted towards like the source material. There was a lot of stuff missing, but like
Hmm.
they're gonna do a remake of that in a TV series form. So it's like, and that one will be closer to the book. So it's like, I don't
They,
know.
they spent like an
Like
entire
the
season on each book, right?
Well, I would say in that
yes, the
it's a different instance because now they're modifying it, they're changing it and making it for television. So that to me differentiates that quite a bit. So that already smells of separation when it comes to the story of the book.
yeah.
But if they're redoing, if they just redid the Harry Potter movies and they're like, oh, we're going to make it closer to the source material, I still don't care. That still sounds like a remake to me, just like they're just trying to spin it a different way, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess, yeah, with that, it would, the TV thing, I get what you're saying on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's
Um,
another good example though, is the Mulan live action remake. Like that's so different from the first one.
from the animated film.
Right. But closer to the actual legend. So, but I don't know. I don't consider it a remake. I consider it an
How did you feel?
adaptation.
Did you guys ever watch the like BBC versions of Chronicles of Narnia
Yes. Yes.
stories?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the old versions, which came out? What was that? Early '90s?
The
It was a long
BBC,
time ago. The
that was probably
BBC
80s.
versions.
Yeah, it sounds more like 70s, 80s.
Yeah, I'd probably be
How did
80s
you
on that.
feel about like the current remakes that had obviously a lot more budget? Um,
Oh, the current remakes, yeah, it got weird because there was like a religious kind of a thing. Like they got some type of backing for production and stuff from some type of, I don't know if it was a church or it was something similar. So it got a
well,
little
the
bit
stories are kind of
heavy-handed
yeah,
at times. Yeah, I mean it's C.S. Lewis, and C.S. Lewis, I mean the man's been
yeah.
known to dabble when it comes to talking about religion. If you even if anybody know, like for example, Screw Tape Letters, which is just basically about what it was like a young kid having a conversation with the devil or a demon, if I recall. And it's these letters that they're sending back and forth, and the kid's not sure if he's talking to his uncle, if he's talking to a demon, or I don't remember the exacts, but it was a little fuzzy. But C.S. Lewis has always been more about religion, and a lot of people compare him to Tolkien because they hung out in the same circles. And Tolkien was more about not so much about religion, but more about the ramifications of war,
Right.
um,
He
which
started World War One.
right, which can become a little religious and have some religious, overtones to it. But I felt it was starkly different from what C.S. Lewis was writing. So the comparisons I thought were mute. It just didn't work for me. But still, I appreciated both their works independently and had known about C.S. Lewis works prior before I even knew anything about Tolkien. So, interestingly enough, so Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe was kind of a gateway into that Tolkien-esque universe for me because I was like, oh, and then there's this guy, which is weird because I think now it would be 100% the other way around. People would be like, oh, he had Tolkien, and then he had this guy he hung out with. He's a little bit weird. His name was C.S. Lewis, and he did these things. And people was like, oh, okay, cool. Then they might check that stuff out. So I could totally see that happening now. But as far as like remakes and stuff, if you're talking about the '80s Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe versus the newer stuff, I would say that you can say that that is kind of a remake, but it's also hard because with those BBC adaptations, a lot of it was made for television. So the BBC adaptations were movie-made television, um, which is again, like I was discussing here a moment ago with Tracy, with Harry Potter, is a little different. So it kind of falls into that realm then for me. So I kind of am like, whatever, not the end of the world for me if it's a remake or not a remake. It's just to me, it's adapting the source material, and sure they might be remaking parts or elements of it. It's just it does become hard. So when we go through this list and stuff, keep that in mind. I mean, we're just going with the fact that it's another story being told, whether it's from that source material or not, and whether it was good or not. So bear with us on this. So let's get started if we can. I kind of want to hand this over since Tracy was so kind to pop in at the last minute for us. Chris isn't feeling the best, so our best to Chris. Hopefully you feel better soon, buddy.
Get better, brother.
We're going to have Tracy step in first and do hers, and then we're going to go Monty, me, and then Kevin, if that sounds good. So, Tracy, why don't you give us one of your choices of a best remake or just a great remake that you know of that you'd like to mention?
Yeah. I mean, I'll go ahead and go off of this list. Ocean's 11. It's probably one of my favorite remakes of all time. I'm not a fan of the first one. I think the first one's really boring. So, but the remake, it's like one of my favorite movies. I love Ocean's 11. I just feel like the cast. I don't want to get attacked on this because it's like the Rat Pack, but like I think the cast is better. The cast is just more dynamic, and they're funnier. I don't know. There's something about
You know what? Your grandmother might slap you for saying that. She made love Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and Joey Crawford and Dean
That's
Martin.
what I just said. I know. I was afraid to say it, but
No, it's one of those things. It's a matter of taste. I feel the same. It's like for me, it's like the cast. It was just better. The pizzazz and the style,
yes,
kind of the charm,
the coolness.
The remake brought.
Coolness.
Just kind of badassery, where it's like everybody's just like a cool cat in the remake.
Like everyone kind of stood on their own. Where I feel like the original, it was all about the Rat Pack, and it wasn't about the whole thing. But I feel like with the remake, it was like you had all these powerhouse people that came together and made it a classic. I mean, that whole franchise is like, I love it.
It's kind of like the Avengers versus Avengers.
At least the first one. The sequels, not so much. The Ocean's 11 remake, Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, Ocean's 8. Yeah, not so much.
Just trying to position myself. That lighting sucks. I'm sorry. It's my whole bedroom.
I thought you were making like a fashion choice when it was just half your face kind of thing, Donald.
I'm just trying to work it out, man. Ocean's 11. Yeah, I really enjoyed the remake. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never saw the original, but I didn't care to see the original after watching the remake with Clooney and them. It was just fun on a bun, and it's a really eclectic cast, a really great choice for a cast, and just a lot of enjoyable moments that happen. So, yeah, and it spawned what, 3 sequels after that?
Basically.
Yeah, Ocean's 12, 13,
but the thing is, Soderbergh set out to make it. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. You're not wrong. All right, so that's a good one. We're going with. Let me just write it up here real quick. We'll go. Oceans. Was it 11 or just 11? I'll just type it out.
Ocean's 11.
It's just the number 11.
Oh, come on! I just did it the other way, Tracy.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's fine.
I think it's probably both ways.
Why are all their mics echoing? Ward, I don't know. Why is everybody mics echoing? So, do we have echoing mics? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Ward, anybody else having that issue where the mics are echoing? I do apologize if that's the case. No, I mean like people listening besides us. Sometimes it doesn't
Uh,
come over to us. Ward says the Aladdin live action was dope. You know what? I did like it. I did enjoy it, the live action, and I thought Will Smith was a great choice because he does have a musical background. So to put him in a role where he has to sing is a smart move on their part. Frank says there is no excuse for making the Siamese cats and Lady and the Tramp tabby cats to avoid offending Thai people. You give Siamese cats American English accents. Okay.
I would say I didn't know they made that change from the
They
original
did.
Disney version.
What's up,
Did
Big
they
Sal?
really?
Big
Hi, Big
Sal.
Sal.
Big
His
Sal.
house. Uh-oh, him and Tracy are going to be battling out probably tomorrow. I would imagine. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Over what? Over what?
Well, I'm having another midday little let go of my childhood collection, so to speak. Books from when I was a kid or when I've
Well,
been collecting. I've got like 4,000 or
Tracy.
5,000 books here. It's crazy.
Well, Tracy will certainly win that battle.
Oh, I don't know. She was a little
I don't
slow last
know.
week. She was really slow last week.
I've been having some battles lately. I've been losing a lot of battles.
Yeah,
Myself.
but you know what? You didn't have to worry about Paunch this time, which is good because Paunch always gets you for the Nightwings and the Daredevils. He tries anyway. So, but Marisol, she's pretty interested in those Harley Quinns, it seems. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think you'll win, though. I think you'll win because I know a secret. She has to work tomorrow, so and I don't think her job will be as forgiving. I could be wrong though. Who knows? But anyway, I digress. We got Frank in here. Thanks for joining. We got Janet. Good to see you. Good that you popped in.
Hi, Janet.
Where's Rob, Janet? Geez, you guys hang out every freaking day. Where is he? He should be on here. That's your new job, is to get Rob to comment
Be
more
consistent.
often. Get on the pod. Big Sal says, I let Tracy win because I'm a gentleman. Oh,
Ooh, there you go.
that's very nice of Big Sal. Okay, Monty, you have a choice. What's your choice, sir?
I would say one of the best remakes easily is The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Okay. All right. Not the most recent one, which was the prequel, right?
That's a prequel. The one with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which I love her to death. She's awesome. But no, I'm talking about the Kurt Russell. What was it, 1982 version?
What a great choice, by the way, Monty. This film. Okay, so I avoided it like the plague because I thought it was a horror film when I was younger, and I was just scared, you know. And
there's so much more to it. There's so much as far as the paranoia and everything that goes into like in that movie.
I was kind of sheltered when it came to horror films, so I didn't really get to know that many. But like with science fiction, I could kind of dabble a little bit more because it was safer. Hence, me watching Army of Darkness because it was more like fantasy and sword and sorcery type stuff. So that worked for me. But like straight up horror, I couldn't do. So the thing just felt like straight up horror. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is like a science fiction movie. Like this is great. And I love.
There's a lot of psychology that goes into it, a lot, and the paranoia and everything that people are kind of going through in that movie. Plus, I mean, come on, you've got a pre-Quaker Oats Wilford Brimley. How could you go wrong?
Shorty Malloy says The Thing sounds familiar, Mr. Monte. Great choice.
Yeah, he was the one. He was like, he reminded me because you asked me for a list. And I was like, you know, of some of my favorites, and I was kind of trying to toil in my mind because a lot of remakes are shit, really. And then I was talking to Shorty, and he was like, "Hey, what about The Thing?" And I'm like, "That's right, The Thing."
Yeah, and to preface this,
Kurt Russell,
right? Rio Sonic, the remake in 2011 is a prequel technically to the original. Yeah. You watch to the end, that dog that's running and stuff, and then they get the dog and they save the dog because the guy's hunting it. And they're like, "You're a monster."
The people that were at the site before, like when the Kurt Russell and his group of people get there kind of deal before that.
Maria says, yeah,
So
you
that
basically
mystery.
watch the 2011 and immediately roll into the 82 one. It's a continuous story. And she's not
Yeah.
wrong. What I loved about the 2011 is the dude from Game of Thrones, that red-headed dude, the Viking-looking motherfucker with the beard and fiery red hair. He was in this thing from 2011, and his facial reactions throughout the whole thing were absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. He'd be like,
Are you talking about the guy that played like he was like one of the wildlings? What he was like the one. He was a main
yes.
character kind of
Yep.
deal,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
one of the few that managed to actually survive through
Yep.
the entire thing,
Yeah.
despite all efforts.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was in it, but also I haven't seen the 2011
Also in
remake.
Cocaine Bear, for those that care.
I saw Cocaine Bear, and if you haven't seen Cocaine Bear, you're just missing out on life.
Oh my God, Gray
Agreed.
is on. Gray, what are you doing on? You have a
No,
baby now,
congratulations.
sir.
I know. Congratulations to your baby, your new daddy.
Wow, that came out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, let's hang out. Let's do a game night. Let's do this." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I got a lot going on. I'm so sorry." And then I'll get back to it and stuff. He's like, "Oh, by the way, I had a baby." What? He had a baby. So congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
You didn't know the baby was coming?
No, I didn't know. Did I know? I don't think I knew. I don't think I knew. Did I know? Maybe I knew. No, did I? I don't know. Anyway, Frank says, was there any mention of the previous crew of people in the 1982 version of the thing? Well, not in the prequel, because they wouldn't have known about the people from the 1982. So, no. Ward says remakes won't be better than the originals.
It depends.
It depends, man. I can come up with one. In fact, let me see if I can right now. Give me a moment. Uno momento, por favor.
By the way, you talk about
Found one.
Oh.
Found one immediately. Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. 310 to Yuma. Challenge. Ward. Challenge. 310 to Yuma. This remake is better than the original. Try it out. Try me on
I
this one.
agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first one was just kind of like Tracy had said before about how the original old school Ocean's 11 was just boring as all get out. Same with the original 310 to Yuma. Whereas the Bell Crow version upped up the ante, up the action, just far superior, in my opinion.
And I mean, and both of these guys are high caliber actors. I mean, they're just quality actors. They can play character actors. They can star in a movie or a show or a series or anything. Like, they're just so versatile. It was perfect casting and perfect, just a perfect script. Like, overall, it was just really solid.
Well, and it's like I'm trying to think. It's like the director. He did Logan. He's gone on to do Logan, and as far as a director, Logan and
James Bond, right?
And also Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah,
James Mangold.
Yes.
Also
Mangold.
Walk the Line. The Johnny Cash.
Yes. So it's like he just brought all of his game to, as he usually does, to all of his films and everything. So
Frank says, wait, I'm asking if the Kurt Russell version has any mention of a previous crew. I thought you said the 2011. I believe so. I believe the Kurt Russell version does mention a previous crew. In fact, they showed video.
There is. There's a bit of mystery there. Like, if it's so far as I remember, like the 82 version with
it's been a bit.
Kurt Russell. There's a mystery when they get there. It's like, what happened to the people that were here before? And so the prequel obviously explains all of that.
It's no Deep Rising, but it's still pretty good. Deep Rising's great. I don't care what anybody says. It's the best.
Did you say Deep Rising?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well,
Treat Williams is a treat, damn it.
Pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure. All right, I watched it actually recently because it was on like Netflix or something. And I'm like, oh, it's like Deep Rising. It's like this movie doesn't get enough love.
Look at this shorty with the info. He says they do mention the previous crew, but not by name. They actually go to their burned up camp and find some bodies. Yeah, he's not wrong. And Sean McGeehan says the Maltese Falcon 1941 was the third and best adaptation of Dashiell Hammett's novel. It made Humphrey Bogart a star. There was a 1931 pre-code version, and Satan Met a Lady with Betty Davis. Interesting. Gregarious says Copland. Oh, that's a good choice. And Ward says all the Thing movies are connected. And Frank says, I'm going to watch the 1982 version right now to get clarification. How about you wait about an hour, sir? How about that? And then Ward says, I thought they existed in their own continuity. We all exist in our own continuity, sir. It's just dependent upon where we're at in this world and what we think about ourselves. Just made that up right now. It sounded good, though, didn't it?
That was very deep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were going to get philosophical.
By the way,
Right?
Humphrey Bogart doesn't really get good until let's see, what is it? The Treasure of Sierra Madre
Mm-hmm.
and The African Queen. Those are Humphrey Bogart's like two best roles. And
Also,
if you say
You don't think
Sabrina,
Casablanca?
Key
Aaron,
Largo.
if you fucking say Sabrina, I swear to God, I'll
Key
slap
Largo.
your mouth.
Key Largo. Key Largo.
First
Key
of all,
Largo. Key Largo is awesome.
he's amazing in Sabrina.
I love Key Largo.
Hot fucking trash, Tracy, and you know it.
Oh, Key Largo is a great Bogart movie. Him and Edward G. Robinson.
You don't even know who that is. You're just saying names.
I mean, I feel like Humphrey Bogart was good before then.
He, in Sabrina, I've never seen somebody so wooden in my goddamn life. Rewatch that
Well, I
movie.
mean, he's supposed to be. First of all, he hated her. How did he hate Audrey Hepburn, by the way?
Out of a paper sack. Oh, look at
Damn,
me.
you guys
I
get heated over Bogey.
made out of wood. My name is Humphrey Bogart.
But
I need oiled.
Dude, you realize the time period is like back in the day, back in Hollywood, you could be a piece of wood. They could have just literally gotten a piece of wood and put some glasses or a mustache on it or whatever, and it could be a star.
Look at this,
yeah,
Monty.
I mean, there was very limited options.
Enrique says, I'm going to put this, I'm going to post it, I'm going to pin it up at the top of the page here. It says, actually in the middle, right over everything. I'm with you on Deep Rising, Donald. I love that movie. Right, Enrique. Enrique knows what's up.
It's got to be Treat Williams' best.
The remake of Sabrina is better, Maria. Thank you. And Elvin Garcia in the house. Elvin, you need to tune in tomorrow,
Hi,
Elvin. Trust me on this because I know your love of Cassius Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali. So trust me, you need to turn into my show tomorrow. You won't regret it. That's all I'm going to say. Frank says, now I'm watching a clip of both Thing movies side by side, beginning of one, end of the other. Nice. Mom says, I love The African Queen. I know, Mom. That's why I said that, because I watched it for the first time with you. A lot of the oldies but goodies I watched, like Cat Ballou, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, that kind of stuff, and then The African Queen and things like that, I watched for the first time with my mom, who introduced me to a lot of those things. So,
I mean,
I
it's
get
a
my love
solid
for
movie.
certain
I'm not
things.
saying that. I'm just saying that Humphrey Bogart was better before that. I mean, he was good before that. I'm saying.
Ward says, I know there's a lot of remakes, but one they shouldn't ever remake is the Back to the Future trilogy. Ward, I tend to agree with you.
Contractually, they can't. Contractually, they can't.
Oh, here goes Debbie Downer.
Why would you redo Back to the Future trilogy anyway?
Okay, so hear me out.
It's perfect the way it is.
Hear me the fuck out.
I'm hearing.
Holland.
I didn't hear that. It actually went. What'd you say,
Tom
Donald?
Holland would make a great Marty McFly, and you damn well know it. You know it. You know it in your
So
heart.
why not, instead of doing a remake, what about trying to maybe do like a legacy sequel?
That's fine.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
fine with that. But I'm saying they can continue like they did with the Ghostbusters. They can continue with that. Doc Brown is old as fuck. You get Christopher Lloyd. He's in a care facility. He's got like dementia or some shit, right? Or they think he does, because they're like, he keeps talking about time travel. and he's so old, and we don't know what to do with him. And like maybe Marty has like passed or something. I don't know. Something's happened to him, or he's trapped in time or some shit, something like that, right? And then it's his great grandson or his grandson. I don't know. It's like something like that. And then it's Tom Holland, and he has to carry on the legacy of that. That would be cool. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, like I said, make it not a remake, like a legacy sequel. That's where it's at these days. As long as you do it right. Like Top Gun, they managed to do it. And in my heart, because I love the franchise, Scream managed to do it with the last two movies that they did.
Sean McGeehan says, nope, Donald. Bogart's first really good role is in The Petrified Forest as Duke Manty. I have not seen that, so I can't say you're wrong. So I guess I'll have to check that out. Elvin says, hello, Monty. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Tracy. Alex Banquita in the house. Jesus, where have you been, sir? Alex, drop a quick fat beat for us on your new comic book that's coming out very, very soon. Sean says Tracy is correct. I don't know about what. I think Sean's just sweet on Tracy. Elvin says, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Exactly. Mom says you're welcome. And Sean says, Donald, you need to check out. Check it out, I think is what he's saying. Unless you want me to leave.
No,
in which case I can, but I'm taking the whole show with me. This is out. I take the whole thing with me. I don't want to do that. So let's assume that you're saying I need to check that out. All right. So, Kevin, you have a choice. What is your choice, sir?
Let's see. I'll go with, and I was watching this a few months ago, the Dawn of the Dead remake from Zack Snyder, 2004.
Yeah!
That was a lot of fun.
Yes. Yes, sir.
By the way, Monty, that you're talking about Tormund Giantsbane, played by Christopher Hiju, a Norwegian actor, Game of Thrones.
Yes. We're going back to the guy that played Giantsbane.
Yeah.
On Game of Thrones. He also ended up in a Fast and the Furious movie, and he's doing a lot of stuff. Cocaine Bear.
He's getting work.
He's getting that work, baby. Yeah.
But this Dawn of the Dead remake, awesome. Vin Rames, Sarah Polley, Mekhi Phifer, Ty Burrell, Jake Weber. I mean, good cast. And what's scary this time around about this, usually the zombies are going slow, but this time around, they have track speed. That's scary. Very scary.
Yeah.
Very similar.
It's like the hell with World War Z and their fast ass zombies or whatever. It's like Dawn of the Dead remake. They were kind of like some of the OG to be like, it's like, no, we're going to make our zombies fast.
Yeah,
you can run. You can run, but you might not get away.
Yeah, so 20 days later, these guys got.
Yeah.
Speaking of not getting away, how about a Splattered Frog? Splattered Frog Brewing Company, Splattered Frog Brewery, is a brewing company based out of Texas. Go to splatteredfrog.com, type in coupon code SHORTBOX, and save 20% off your order.
Well, you know what? That probably would help you during an apocalyptic crisis with zombies. Would be Splattered Frog beer would help during such a crisis, I believe.
Maybe a bottle of Killer Pickle from Haas Hot Sauce. You could beat them over the head. Or
you know what?
You could
maybe that would be a
yourself with
substitute.
it.
Maybe a substitute for human flesh. You never know. You never know. Maybe they prefer the sauce, the hot sauce, over the human flesh.
Maybe
I'm just going to play you out, Kevin.
Fixes the world.
Bye, Kevin.
Solves
everything. Well, that's all for Kevin tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Kevin could have another good point. It's like that solved the entire apocalypse right there.
Yeah, it's been an alternate food source. Well, Monty, thank you for. What about Tracy? How do you feel about the Dawn of the Dead remake? One of Zack Snyder's best movies, in my opinion.
I've never seen any of those.
Oh.
Nothing in the entire franchise. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh
I
no.
think it's because it's
Quickly.
zombies. I'm not like a zombie person.
Things I want to mention. Okay,
So you
so
probably you haven't
Alex.
seen any Resident Evil either.
Okay, like it makes a lot of sense because she hasn't seen any Evil Dead. She hasn't seen, yeah. So this makes
So
complete sense.
naturally, yeah, it does.
But
So
don't
she's not
worry,
into zombies.
don't worry. She'll eventually come back into the shop, and when she does, I will put up on the screen a film, and she will have to watch it before Two Guys One Box. Just the way it's gonna have to work. Like, sorry, Tracy. Alex Banquita says comic is called The League of Exceptional Gorilla Men. It's TMNT. Oh, this is a great sell, dude. It's TMNT meets X-Men with an Adult Swim spin. It's coming out next month. And he told me in secret, in privacy, that this is the best thing he's ever written. So,
And is this
It
coming
sounds
out? Is this
amazing.
coming out nationwide? Is this coming out
nationwide.
nationwide?
American Mythology Productions, I want to say, or Comics, American Mythology Comics is the publisher. And it is called The League of Exceptional Gorilla Men. And it sounds excellent. I've seen maybe I've seen a little bit of the art. Maybe. I don't know. I could have. It's possible. It's fucking great. Okay?
And
Just
again,
check it
and
out.
say the author. What's her name?
It's Alex Banquita that wrote it. He's a dude. He's got
All right. Well, congratulations, Alex. That's awesome. Very cool.
Yes, it is.
Enrique
I
says
plan on picking up a copy.
I got some more things to say really quickly. Enrique says Treat Williams is great, but I also like another movie he's in called Dead Heat with Joe Piscopo.
Oh, yes.
That's really good. It's so dumb, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Tracy probably hasn't seen that one either because it's kind of zombie-esque.
Yeah.
Maria doesn't like the fast zombies. Ward says I agree with Kevin. Dawn of the Dead is dope, and it was awesome, especially it came from Zack Snyder. Maria, they just introduced fast zombies in The Walking Dead in their spin-off world Beyond in a post-credit scene. Oh, shit. Alex says, I'll do a giveaway of signed copies of the Legion of Exceptional Gorilla Men for the show. You guys like, absolutely, we would like to do that, dude. Of course. 100%, we're backing you. Maria says, I'm so behind on The Walking Dead, I need to catch up. Frank says, the voice of Chess, the computer in The Thing, 1982, was Adrienne Barbeau, who was John Carpenter's wife at the time. That makes sense why she was in every one of his films. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
She was not
That
nice
Jim.
to me, by the way. We did
The
not
Jim
get
of a
along
film.
very well.
What'd you do to her? What'd you do to her?
I don't want to talk about it. Ward
Hey, I
says,
feel
I
the
like.
same way about Faye Dunaway from when I worked at the ArcLight. It's like I don't want to talk.
Faye didn't
It's
bother
like,
me at
I just
all.
don't.
Me and Faye got along. I understood her
Well, good
crazy.
for you. She was not good, nice to me.
Well,
Kind of deal, so.
I dated a lot of women very similar to Faye, so I kind of understood her from a very emotional level.
I
Let's
hear
see.
you. I hear you
Hector
completely.
Hernandez popped in. Thanks for joining. He says, yes, please. I would like one gorilla comic, please. Thanks for joining, Hector. Sean McGee says, how about Three Musketeers remake? I like the Richard Lester version from 1973 with Raquel Welch and Faye Dunaway. Of course you'd like the one with Raquel Welch. Come on.
That's
like
ironic. Yeah.
That's like a no-brainer, right? Anything Raquel
There's
Welch.
like how many? There's like a bajillion Three Musketeers remakes, and again, that kind of goes back to it's like, well, do you go with the source material or do you go with films?
Gray's got it. Gray says, in my opinion, the Dawn of the Dead remake was great because of James Gunn's writing. And for those of you that are on the fence, definitely watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's great.
Who's on the fence?
I don't know, Tracy. Some people are on the fence. Some people don't like
I haven't
Guardians of
watched
the
it yet,
Galaxy.
so no spoilers. No spoilers. I
I
haven't
know,
watched it yet.
but it's
Guys.
I went to go see it yesterday, and it's actually really good.
I want to see it. I
It's
just haven't had a
fantastic.
chance.
Yeah. I mean,
Highly
they're like my
recommend it.
favorite anyway, but yeah. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Yep, me too. Me too. Let's see. Sean says Charlton Heston, Christopher Lee, Oliver Reed, Michael York, and Richard Chamberlain. Wow. American Mythology puts out some interesting comics, says Sean. Yes, Sean, you are not wrong. Frank says it seems like the Norwegian crew in 2011 The Thing was replaced by an American crew in the 1982 Thing. Exactly. And Ward says Guardians of the Galaxy was 10 out of 10 in my book. Yes, sir. Good choice. Good choice. Good choice. All right, I forget where we're at. Kevin, you just talked about Dawn of the Dead. Is that correct?
Yes, I think we're back to Tracy.
Let's pull up another one for you.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna go with Casino Royale.
Yes. Good choice, Tracy. Good choice. Hello, Tommy, brother Tommy. How you doing?
Tommy, thanks for joining. By the way, Tommy, he says that he didn't like the design of the High Evolutionary. I'm curious, are you a huge High Evolutionary fan? Because I literally have never met one. So I'm wondering if you are that big of a fan of the High Evolutionary that his design bothers you that much, or this can be what it is from an artist standpoint, from a somebody that is very artistically talented when it comes to the pen and paper. Did you see a flaw in that design, and what would you have done to improve upon that? And so back to Casino Royale. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know. It's better. For one, it's an actual canon movie. The original Casino Royale was not canon.
It was a spoof.
In a comedy.
So.
It was meant to be a comedy.
Yeah. It was like, no. Yeah. So obviously the 2006 Casino Royale is better by far. And it's probably the best one of the Daniel Craig ones.
Yep. Yeah, that one and Skyfall.
Yeah.
Skyfall was awesome. Yeah. I will say of the 5 that he did, that's my favorite.
Do you remember the scene where they just beat the shit out of his balls?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It's kind of hard to forget. I was cringing in the theater watching it.
Yeah, but Monty, you used to pay for that kind of thing, if I recall. Right? Right? I think you.
I don't like to let that out too much, but you know.
He has secret information.
I was cringing in the best possible way, and then I knew what my plans were for after the movie.
Okay, so Tommy says, I would make it just like the comics. Look nothing like it, at least the red face and crest. Okay, I hear you. Tommy, by the way, I don't think I got your text on the list for tomorrow, or for Wednesday, so be sure to get me that tomorrow at the latest. He'll know what I'm talking about. Ultraman Magnus says, the High Evolutionary looked like an Eternal. Yeah. Dude, you're right. It kind of did. Frank says High Evolutionary can stand up to Galactus. Not in this. Not in this. Sean says Tracy, yes. Casino Royale, the third version is great. Maria says don't forget the Peter Sellers Casino Royale, so silly. Hector says I'm way behind on James Bond movies. Haven't watched one to completion. What is the best introduction into that universe? I'm going to tell you right now.
Wow.
Live and Let Die.
Yeah, oh yeah, good one.
I
love
Dr. No.
Good one.
Yeah. You know what? For now,
Live and Let Die.
No. If you want to go Sean Connery, if you want to go one there from Russia with Love, I would start there.
Yes.
I would get Thunderball.
You should get Robert Shaw.
It's great, but Robert Shaw, as the villain,
It's fantastic. Russia with
Love,
Sean Connery.
I feel like you just have to start at the beginning and then go through all 25.
No, God, no, Tracy. Stop.
I do that at least once a year.
Some people like a little less.
Watch there.
Others prefer a little Roger Moore, and that's Live and Let Die. That's right.
Just skip Die Another Day.
By the way, go watch Live and Let Die. No, Kevin. Watch Live and Let Die, and then go to New Orleans and get some beignets and enjoy yourself, because that is so good. It's a 1-2 combination. It's perfect.
Good old Yaphet Kotto as the villain.
Die Another Day. You're not wrong, Monty. And he's a great villain. Die Another Day is fantastic. Madonna does not lend her musical talent to just anything, and Die Another Day is one of those. And it has one of the, and deny me if you will, Kevin, but
Tina Turner's GoldenEye song is much better.
I bet you can't, you know what? Kevin. You can't deny me that Die Another Day has one of the best opening sequences of any James Bond film.
It did, but can we at least comment on the dynamite that was Denise Richards in The World Is Not Enough, and her
Kevin will comment.
Yes,
talents.
she played a somewhat believable nuclear physicist. Yes, yes,
It was so believable. It's like I just went along with it.
yes,
It's like,
indeed.
okay.
Yep,
Sure,
Denise
sure.
Richards, definitely. nuclear
Best
physicist.
Bond girl ever.
Yeah.
She's dating Charlie Sheen.
Marry Charlie. She just dated him when they were married.
I know, it got worse. Oh, boy.
And
Okay,
had
I
kids
digress.
together.
Let's see, we got some more comments. Domino Fox, thanks for joining, says, all guys cringed watching his balls get whacked. Tommy says, will do, sir. How about the A-Team film after the show? Tommy, I love that movie. That movie is stupid, but getting and casting Charlotte Copley as Murdoch, chef's kiss. The most
Awesome.
perfect fucking casting you could think of. And I will say Liam Neeson did a hell of a Hannibal. Like a hell of a Hannibal. And in fact, because of the A-Team, one of my favorite terminology or phrases is when I'm like excited or I'm like, what some people say he's in the zone. I call it on the jazz. And I call it on the jazz because that was Mr. T's reference to when Hannibal would be in the zone. He'd be like, oh, Hannibal's on the jazz again. He's on the jazz. So when I'm into something, I tell people, I'm like, I'm on the jazz. They don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but that's from them.
I have a soft spot for the 2010
Super fun.
reboot kind of thing of the series. I mean, they actually, if you think about it, they got a hell of a cast. And all things being equal, I'm kind of sad that it didn't do quite as well, but as far as making money as they wanted, because it was supposed to be the beginning, obviously, of a new movie franchise for the A-Team, right?
Yeah.
But I have a soft spot for that movie.
So we've got a ton. This is a comment kind of night, guys. We got a ton of comments. Sean says, have any of you seen the first Casino Royale that was an American made-for-TV thing with an American actor who played Jimmy Bond? It's pretty awful, but probably still on YouTube.
You know what? I actually do want to check that out. Yeah, it came out like in 1957, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, I got to check it out.
That's the comedy version. Yeah, the
no,
non-serious version.
Domino Vox is recommending Goldfinger. Maria says, I've seen it. It was pretty slow paced. Sean says, I agree with Kevin. Goldeneye. Goldeneye is awesome. Ward says, James Bond will never die. Well, until you watch the last one. Dead, thanks for joining, says, amen. Denise Richards. Domino says, Pierce did an amazing run of Bond. Totally agree. Totally fucking agree.
But he's no Timothy Dalton.
If only Sean Connery had been in on Her Majesty's Secret Service instead of Lazenby. And then Ultraman says it was Sean McGean. I thought Lazenby did a great job. In fact, if you get the chance to watch his documentary on that, I believe it's still on Hulu. It's fantastic.
I think Lazenby actually did well enough on Her Majesty's Secret Service that's what brought Connery back. In my opinion, was he was like, oh, he's doing really good. It's little jelly action kind of going on there.
Actually, Monty, it was $1 million and a donation to like his charity.
Here's a great question. I'm going to ask the question and then I'm going to immediately answer it because I can't remember his name and I'm just going to throw it out. I'm going to just vomit it. Then the rest of you can chime in. Sean says, who does everyone want the next Bond to be? I want it to be the kid from Kick-Ass. And I never remember his name.
Aaron Johnson.
Yeah. And the reason why, if you watch Bullet Train, I can't remember if he was Lemon or what was the other one?
He was one of the brothers, one of the twins.
Yeah, he was in that role sold me as a possibility, an extreme possibility for James Bond. I really liked him in that. And I think he can do it. I think he can handle it very well. So I like him.
There's so many articles and so many things are saying that he's been in talks, supposedly.
Well, he auditioned.
The question is, what do you want to do with it? Because they made a good point. They're like, it's the same thing that happened with Casino Royale when they recast with Daniel Craig, right? Where they wanted to do like a Bond Begins kind of thing. So they were looking at all these really, really young, like a very young Henry Cavill and all these people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, it doesn't really kind of make sense because Bond is supposed to be this experienced years in MI6 agent with years of experience kind of thing. So it's like, you're going to put like, somebody who's in their 20s into that role kind of deal necessarily. It's like somebody who has real world experience already. And so that's why they didn't go with Cavill for Casino Royale or a bunch of the other people. And apparently the Broccolis have come forward and they've been very vocal about, we're looking for somebody in their early to probably mid 30s. And I don't know how old he is now.
No, Maria says Reggie, Gene Page.
Gene Page.
Yeah.
Nah. I love you, Maria.
Oh,
but no.
The guy
is
from
that the guy from Bridgerton?
Yes. He's a terrible actor.
Yes, I agree.
He's pretty. He's good looking, but like, he's not a great actor.
Goodbye. Yeah.
I agree with you, Donald, on Aaron Taylor Johnson. But my first choice has been for the last 5 years, Aidan Turner.
That could be good. You know who else could be good? And
wait. Okay, so
watching...
for people that don't know who that is, who is it?
I think he was in Lord of the Rings, if I'm not mistaken. But he was in that show called Poldark. And he's in a lot of British stuff.
What's his name?
Yeah, he's done a lot of BBC.
I'm going to pull this motherfucker up. What's his name?
Aidan Turner.
But no, Aidan Turner would be good. You know who? But again, who would be really good, especially after watching the miniseries Bodyguard on Netflix? Richard Madden.
Oh yeah,
I just mentioned him. Rob Stark. I just mentioned him. Rob Stark.
Yeah.
Yes, you should look up a picture.
I 100% disagree with that choice with Rob fucking Stark. He is a wet blanket. He is when you eat a banana and you open it, right, and it's kind of bruised and sweaty or something.
Have you watched Bodyguard on Netflix?
That's that motherfucker.
No, have you watched Bodyguard, Donald?
No, I don't like his acting.
He's a straight up badass in that show, man.
He's not a good actor.
And Aidan Turner's too old. He's 46. By the time he does his movie, he'll be almost 50 years old.
He's 46?
Yep. He's too old at this
time. I didn't realize that. And see, that's the thing with the Broccolis, too. It's like, and that's why a lot of actors have kind of turned it down that they've approached, because they haven't got
10 years
or anything.
10 years.
It's like a 10 to 12-year commitment.
Yep.
Basically, at least.
Yep.
I mean, even Donald Craig, he swore to God, he's like, I swear after Skyfall, he's like, I swear to God, after Skyfall, I'm done. What did he go and do? Because, whenever the old checkbook comes out, of course.
Well, I'm sorry, you're right.
2 more movies.
I was like, 46?
You know what? I was looking at another actor name with the same name, so my bad.
That's okay. Now I want to know who you were thinking of, the other Aidan.
I already know one other Aiden. I don't know. Okay, so we got a couple comments here. Ultraman says Idris Elba was supposed to be the next James Bond. Domino says Sean Connery did one more Bond movie in the 90s and it wasn't a part of the Bond series. Never Say Never Again.
It was 80s.
Excuse me, 80s is what he corrected himself. Maria says boo. Sean says I kind of want Michael Fassbender or Tom Hardy as James Bond. I love Fassbender. Unfortunately. Maria says Sean, they would have been good, but they were too old now. Idris would have been a dope Bond. Janet says the boy who played Neville Longbottom should be James Bond.
Oh.
Interesting.
No.
Not a terrible choice.
No.
He did have a glow up as the series continued.
What's he been in?
Matthew Lewis.
Looks wise, he definitely had a glow up.
I'm legitimately asking what he's been in since Harry Potter. Has he been in anything?
I don't know. Probably doesn't have to be in anything for the rest of his life.
Wait, he was in the Queen's Gambit, right? That's him, right? That's that dude?
No, that's somebody else. That was the cousin.
Oh, that's right. Shit, you're right. It was the chubby cousin, right? That little
Mhm.
fat boy that was like really shitty
Jeez.
too. Well, I mean, because he was really shitty. I'm just being mean to
You're
him.
mixing
He was
you're mixing actors up.
he was really shitty to Harry Potter the whole friggin' time. Yeah, Tracy, you're spot on. He's actually not a terrible choice either, to be honest. I really hear me out. I really liked his acting in that Queen's Gambit. He did he sold me.
Mhm.
He sold
I
me.
think the important thing it's got to be somebody at least from the UK, preferably.
Domino's got a great
Well, the
idea.
British Commonwealth. The British Commonwealth.
It's got to be.
Domino says I
Commonwealth.
could imagine Daniel Radcliffe as Q. That's a really good choice.
Oh, that would
Interesting.
be a good choice for Q. I always forget about the other people, right? Like who would be good for Q, who would be good for M.
Tracy,
Well, Ben Whishaw
think
was really good in the
Oh, I don't
Craig
know.
versions.
You made an enemy. Maria said you can fuck yourself. I don't know. She's this shit.
They
It's
could
gonna
do
go
like
down.
what they did.
I mean,
They could do what they did with Judi Dench, where she crossed over as M for a while from the Brosnan years, and they could bring Ben Whishaw back as Q
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
for whoever the new Bond is.
yeah. I mean, okay. I agree that Reggie Page is like really incredibly good looking and would be perfect visually for James Bond. I just think his acting is really terrible.
Fair enough. So that was Tracy. Monty, do you have another choice?
As far as remakes go,
Yeah. Yeah, we were on Casino Royale for a while.
yeah, we were. I actually, what was that, Kevin?
I sent you a list to look at.
Yeah, yeah. I will say this: I actually did not hate the Magnificent Seven with Denzel. I actually really enjoyed it. That may be an unpopular choice, but I
Very,
really enjoyed it.
very unpopular.
Yeah.
There you.
I mean, I just feel like the original was Seven Samurai, and that was just way better than all of them.
Well, the
There
character
you go.
Sawa
There you
version,
go.
yeah, of course,
There you go.
that's the OG version. I liked at least
Feel
it is anything. Yeah, was any of the newer ones better? And they've done television series, and they're doing another television series for Amazon actually as we speak. Kind of deal reboot. It's like the story's been done. Of course, Kira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai, the OG, and then the Yul Brynner, American remake or whatever. But
Right.
I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. It was all right. I like that how they tried to throw in some. What are you laughing at?
I pushed the wrong button and I've messed us all up. I'm in the right corner now. Kevin's up with my name and Tracy's Kevin.
Oh,
And
okay.
but you're still Monty, so that's good for you. I'm Tracy
Oh, that's
tonight.
good. I'm not Tracy this time. I was Tracy the first time I did the
Oh.
podcast. So
That's true.
Tracy,
Now
you and
it's
I are
me.
one and the same, apparently. But no, I mean it's all right. I like how they tried to throw into the seven medics, like they did try to do quite a bit more diversity as well.
Right.
That was good.
I
It's
fixed
like
it.
you had a Native American character, you had a Hispanic character, the lead character is
Monty, let me
African
ask you,
American.
have you seen a series called The English?
The
you watched
English?
It's BBC in partnership with Amazon Prime. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Who is what is her name? Everybody wants her to be the Invisible Woman. Can I remember her name? She was in A Quiet Place.
Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Yeah, Emily Blunt. It's starring Emily Blunt.
One of my big crushes. I love Emily Blunt. Yeah.
And she is an English woman that comes over to the U.S. in the Wild West days and meets up, acts by happenstance, with a Native American that is about to be hanged, and kind of saves him, and he saves her at the same time. And he helps her go on a mission to kill the man that killed her brother. and it's a
Interesting.
six-part series, BBC and Amazon, and it's really good. So if you like westerns,
I
highly
do.
recommend it. Highly recommend it, Monty. It's called The English.
Interesting. The
Yes,
English with
I've
Emily Blunt.
been watching it with my dad every night. We have one more episode to go. We're on episode 6 coming up, and we'll probably watch it after this podcast ends later this evening. It's been a nice
Well, very
treat.
good. But it's on BBC and Amazon.
Amazon
You
Prime.
said? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sean has a question. He says, any reactions on the Thomas Crown affair being remade as Thomas Crown, Steve McQueen versus Pierce Brosnan in the lead role? Geez. I love the remake. I never saw the Steve McQueen one. I'm going to be honest. I watched the Pierce Brosnan one, and the fact that, okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. When you talk about this kind of thing, you have to think about where you're at in your life and what happens. I was introduced to Nina Simone with the Thomas Crown affair, the Pierce Brosnan version. I had no idea who Nina Simone was. And then I heard Sinner Man for the first time, and it blew my fucking mind. Like, legitimately. One of the best songs I've ever heard in my life was Sinner Man by Nina Simone. And I was like, oh my God, what else has she done? And then I started this whole whirlwind tour of Nina Simone and figuring out who she was and what she's done.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I legit went down the rabbit hole. So for me, it's the Pierce Brosnan version, 100%. But I never saw the other version. So there you go.
I prefer the Steve McQueen version, but that's just because I love Steve McQueen.
I saw Bullet at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, Kevin. We went to a lot of those. We went to that. Did you go to the one with Night of the Living Dead at the cemetery with us?
I think I missed that one, unfortunately.
They did Night of the Living Dead, the original version, at the cemetery at Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Hollywood Forever.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you're watching a zombie film where things come out of the grave, and you're literally hanging out in a cemetery. It's the creepiest shit.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
But it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Sean says, Tracy, I agree. Domino Sue Pierce is the most down-to-earth person you will ever meet. Tommy says, Rollerball. I never saw either version. I'm sorry, Tommy.
Oh, dude, if he's saying that Rollerball, the one with, what's his name, Chris, what's his face from American Pie, was somehow a better version, and who was the other? It was like...
James Caan, right?
Well, James Caan was the original. James Caan was in the original. I'm talking about the remake they did in like 2002 with what's his face from
Chris Klein.
Yeah.
To what?
Chris Pine.
Chris Klein.
Right? Chris Klein. That's right.
Yeah.
Chris Klein. Yeah, and oh my, it was so bad. It was so bad. And it was really coming from the director of Die Hard.
He was really good in that film with Ryan Reynolds, the best friend, or by something like that. The one with Amy Smart. You know what I'm talking about?
I think it's Just Friends.
Just Friends. Thank you. Tracy.
Oh, Just Friends. No, he was great. No,
he was great.
That's fine. I'm not. It's nothing against him. It's like Rollerball, the remake, was absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that.
All right, fair enough.
I actually went to the theater in LA and watched it.
Tommy says, LOL, it was. Rebecca Romaine was the only good thing in it.
Yes.
He's agreeing with you.
Yes. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Thank you, Rebecca Romaine.
I'm going to go with another one really quickly. I've got a few, but I'm actually going to list a few right now just to get them out of the way. My first choice, Dune, the remake of Dune.
Good choice.
What? Okay, so I went to the what was it? It was IMAX, the original IMAX theater out in Los Angeles, where they originated IMAX. I went to that to see Dune, and I got to see the director be interviewed by what's his name, Jake Gyllenhaal, that guy, right? So he's interviewing the director in front of me after seeing this film. It was so freaking well done. I remember bits and pieces of the original, and I remember it being a little bit ridiculous, but this one sold me as a solid piece of sci-fi cinematic history. Like,
Mhm.
I felt like I was a part of something that was coming, or part of something that was super special. So Dune, to me, the remake of that is something I highly recommend.
Yeah, it
Another one really
does.
quickly, Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, basically they had to retell because of rights issues and shit. They had to retell the original Evil Dead 1 with Evil Dead 2. And what they did differently in Evil Dead 2 is they let Bruce Campbell be Bruce Campbell. They said, go full Ash. And he said, done. And he went ham and cheese on rye with that shit and never looked back. And that is the best version of Ash that you will get. A quality blend
A
of
legend
horror.
was born.
Right, 100% Monty. So Evil Dead 2 is another choice of mine on a best remake. I'm going to give you one more here real quick before I move on to the rest of the people here. Little Shop of Horrors. Okay, we had the Jack Nicholson original. Who cares? We've got the Rick Moranis we original here. We've got Steve Martin playing the dentist. We've got Bill Murray, Candy Bar. We've got perfection. We've got the guy that did the voices for the Muppets, Frank Oz, directing this beauty. And boy,
And
was it
Master
a beauty.
Yoda.
Yeah, and Master Yoda. And what a beauty it was. I cannot recommend seeing this in a theater enough. In fact, when I saw it in the theater, like probably 6, 7 years ago, they said, we're not sure which ending we have. It might be the real ending before they redid it. And I was like, what are you talking about? What real ending? I don't even remember where they lived happily ever after. And then they looked in the garden and there was a little plant that was going like that. And you're like, oh, that's cute. The real ending is where they win. The plants win. And these giant fucking plants destroy New York City and then the world. And it cost them so much money to refilm it because it was so depressing for the audience. But I loved it. So definitely Little Shop of Horrors top on my list. And
Agreed.
Favorite childhood film for sure.
I
The Moranis version. Yeah.
yeah. Tommy
The
says,
music, the songs.
oh yeah, so good, right? So good, so well done. And I am partial because my local theater back home here, they actually did do Little Shop of Horrors when I was a kid, and I got to see it. It was really good. Did a really good job with that. I was really happy about it. That was another thing. My parents did take me to local theater, so I got to see some plays and some shows and stuff. Ten Little Indians, Little Shop of Horrors, Steel Magnolias, stuff like that. So I was introduced to the stage at a very early age, which was super nice and not something most parents do. So to my mom and dad, thank you. Sean says, didn't Death Race 2000 get remade? Yes. Tommy says, Dune, different from the 80s one, but liked it. Well done. Sean says, I'm still mournful. We will never have a Jodorowsky version of Dune. Gregarious says, ED2, Evil Dead 2. Yes. Tommy says, Carrie, question mark.
No.
Let's see. RoboCop, okay. Dread, better. And Total Recall, horrible. All fair, dude. All fair. I can't argue with any of that, except for Dread. I will say, not
Well,
knowing the
Dread wasn't
history.
really a remake. It wasn't really a remake because it was based on an already established comics character, and it was a
And
completely
that's one of
different
those things that we
story.
can argue. And with that one, Sylvester Stallone wanted to see his face. That was in his contract. You have to see my face. So the mask came off, the helmet came off, and you got to see Dread. But I thought it was so playful and so fun. Rob Schneider was great. Judge Hershey, played by Diane Lane, was fabulous. And geez, even what's his name? Jeez, oh my God.
Oh, the
Armada
villain.
Sante. Armada Sante playing the villain.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Perfect. Just a great film overall. In fact, I just watched it about a month back. Love Judge Dredd, the 90s version, 95, I believe, when it came out. Okay, so Kevin, do you have any like few that you want to throw out really quickly, like I just did?
Yeah, I'll start with 1995's Desperado. It's a combination of a remake or a sequel to El Mariachi. This is the movie when I was a teenager. It introduced me to two wonderful actors, Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek. Fun action movie. Fun action movie. Steve Buscemi, Cheech Marin has backup roles in it too, so can't go wrong. Especially just a guy carrying a guitar case that has guns or can fire weapons that he brings his two buddies in Act 3 to take on the bad guys. It was just so much fun. Like, I didn't know you could use guitars for such destruction. And of course, Salma Hayek, as Salma Hayek, of course, beautiful lady, beautiful woman, just absolutely.
She really is. She came into the arc like quite a bit back.
Oh yes,
back in the day.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She looks just as good in person as she does on screen. Really, it's like
absolutely.
So.
And then my other one, how about The Mummy, 1999? Brendan Fraser, newly crowned Academy Award winner.
Right? Crazy.
Rachel Weisz, Arnold Vosloo,
By the way,
Hanna.
The best ride at Universal Studios theme park in Hollywood.
Really?
Hands down, The Mummy.
Oh, yeah, I agree. That is a fun ride. The only problem with that ride, though, is too short. I wish it was longer.
It is too short. They ran out of money to finish it. So what they did was they reversed the track. So it ends and you hit a wall and then it goes backwards. So it's still really cool. I love it. Love it. Couldn't recommend it more. Okay, so Tracy, really quick, your turn. Anything you want to throw out?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Really? Oh,
actually, no, I'm good.
Monty, anything?
I'm not a huge fan of remakes in general. I feel like I'm kind of like Tracy. I feel like I've exhausted my list of remakes that I actually like.
What was that?
Otherwise, because all the other ones that I do like have actually been mentioned.
You missed out.
And
Piranha
I agree with
3D.
It. Do what?
Piranha 3D. What a great remake. The original done by the guy that brought us the Gremlins, by the way. It's okay. But Piranha 3D? Oh, this one's fun on
the only thing about Piranha 3D that I enjoyed was the fact that it had Elizabeth Shue.
And it's in 3D. Right?
Do what?
And it's in
3D. and I guess the 3D as well.
Monty, how do you get off the fly? 1986, Jeff Goldblum.
Do what? Say that again, Ken. I'm sorry.
How can you forget about The Fly with Jeff Goldblum from 1986? That was a great remake.
Oh, dear Lord, how have we not brought that up?
It's coming right now. On the screen right now. Boom, Jeff Goldblum. Did I tell you guys about the time I met Jeff Goldblum?
Tell the story again.
Okay, so I went to, what was that place, Kevin? It was in Las Feliz area. I can't remember the name of the club, but you went to this club and what's that?
It's by the theater. By the Los Feliz.
I'm trying to think because that was where I lived. That was my old neighborhood.
It's
Las
not far
Feliz.
from there, but it doesn't exist anymore. It went out of business, unfortunately, because of freaking COVID ruined it. But Goldblum once a month would have his jazz band there, and he would play. And I went to see him perform, and let me tell you, I was seeing this girl at the time, and he kept circling around. Like, he would go around to see people, and I could see him, and he kept circling around. He was trying to come over to our table, and then the server came over, and then he just went, and kind of moved aside to another table and shit. And then finally it was open, so he made his way over, and he looked at the girl I was with, and he went like this. He was like, and she floated up into the air. I'm not even fucking joking. She floated up into the air and then went like this, right to him, right? Like it was a possession type thing. And he was like, hello, what's your name? And, she was talking to him and stuff, right? And then so she sat back down. He went and performed. And then halfway through, he was like, "Oh, let's do a little meet and greet. You guys can come out and say hello or whatever." So I walked up to him and I was like, "Dude," I was like, "I saw what you did." I was like, "You trying to like move in on my territory here? What's going on?" Like tongue in cheek. And he looks at me. I swear to God, he looks at me and he's like, "Why would she want chopped steak like me when she's got filet mignon like you at home?"
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
And I went like that, like a like I like did this weird thing, like like the nerdiest, weirdest thing you could ever do. He was trying
that's awesome.
at that point. Then I think he was hitting on me. Jeff Goldblum
He
pivoted,
probably was. He's probably like
pivoted
he's
from hitting
oh
on the
oh
girl I
you know.
brought to full on hitting on me, and I didn't even see it coming. Jeff Goldblum, right
You know
there.
what's
That's
weird? You know what's funny? It's like here's a little Oklahoma story for you. I actually one of my really good friends that I know. Well, I mean, I would say great friend. It's like we went to a summer arts institute for acting and whatever. Her name's Annie Ellicott. She's a musician, a singer. She actually tours with Jeff Goldblum's band. Hell, she may have even been there when you were there, kind of deal. And she does that really, really frequently.
interesting.
And
Huh.
she'll post like pics and stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, that's totally
And
awesome.
I'm like,
Apparently,
holy no.
Monty, apparently Jeff Goldblum's going to be playing at SDCC, Kevin, too. San Diego Comic
Oh,
Con.
oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Nice.
how about that? Alex says, "I'm back. I had to split at work. No problem, Alex. We're still here. We're going to be wrapping up shortly, though, because we just finished with The Fly. And in fact, we're going to wrap up so short, you're not even going to know we were even here."
I just remembered another one, The Blob remake. And you remember Steve McQueen was in the original 1958 one.
Wait, what was the remake of The Blob? Come on.
1988.
In the 80s.
I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever seen that. Is it good?
really. It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's all right,
Oh,
but
you're
it's
selling me
very
on this,
80s.
Kevin.
It's very late 80s. All the characters and the whole
Is
storyline
it
is
better
very
than the
late
stuff?
80s.
You know, interesting enough, I like the stuff too, because you know what? They both have similar.
That's exactly why I brought it up. Maria says maybe Goldblum should be the next James Bond. He 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 he. I mean, if he was, I couldn't say no. You know what I mean? I'd be a Bond
I'd
girl.
watch it. I couldn't resist. I'd watch it.
True Grit.
I'd watch it.
True Grit. A
Yeah.
lot of people saying True Grit was good, the remake.
Oh yeah, True Grit the remake was great. No, I mean, let's be real here. There's a lot of really good remakes, but there's also a case for the original was the best. So
Of
it's a
course.
mixed bag.
Of
Of
course.
course, it's always a
And
mixed
then
bag.
again, it's like I'd messaged you guys before. It's like, and then remakes that should never happen.
Right. You're not
It's like
wrong there.
don't go after Casablanca. Don't go after Gone with the Wind.
Aww.
Don't go after Tracy. What do you think? Are there any movies where you're like, they better not touch it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like like I feel like Roman Holiday is one of those, like, don't touch it. It's the first one's perfect. Yeah, there's just some that I feel like Back to the Future is another one. Like, just leave it alone. They tried the Home Alone one, and I was like, that was one you should have just left by itself.
Right.
So there's some that they have done. I'm like, oh, come on, like that was unnecessary. But yeah.
Tracy, real quick, I just want to mention that last night I tried to read the entire dictionary in bed, but I couldn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get up to pee. Hey! Oh, the mini drum set's back.
Outstanding.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance to everybody. But geez, this was a lot of fun. Alex says The Graduate, Saturday Night Fever, Fight Club can't remake.
Agreed.
Geez, Fight Club, I think, would be exceptionally hard to remake, particularly because of the nuances that were added into that film. He legitimately added snippets of porn into the actual, like it. Fight Club is another level when it comes to filming. I don't think that people appreciate Fight Club as much as they should because it is so amazingly well. It is a masterful piece of cinema. It really is,
In
and
the thing, well,
I'll
it's
die on that hill.
untouchable. It's untouchable.
Yeah.
They actually tried to they sequelized it, in comic book form and novel form or whatever.
Oh, Sammy wants me to do a drum solo, everybody.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody.
Nice. Yay.
Yep. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. Sammy, I'm bringing these back with me. I will have them at every D&D session, so you're welcome. Alex says, I love Fight Club. I love all three of those movies. That's cool. That's cool. We love them too. Let me just mention really quickly that we do have our audio podcast. There's audio podcasts do come out about every week. Hiccups here and there, when I'm back in my hometown, yada, 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 yada. Things get changed up a bit. So we haven't had an audio podcast in a week or two. We will have our next one coming out this week, though. It will be coming out on Thursday. So look for our newest audio podcast on our iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Amazon, etc., 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 to be presented there. It will pop up, and I hope you guys enjoy that. This podcast is called No Mo FOMO. So no more fear of missing out, meaning that everybody that says that there is a fear of missing out, we're here to question that, actually, because collecting would not be collecting if there wasn't a fear of missing out. Let's be realistic on this one. It is what it is. That's how
I bet it's an
collectors get
amazing
driven.
episode.
It's going to be a lot of fun, Tracy. So definitely look out for that one. And I do apologize, by the way, Tracy. I haven't been able to listen to your podcasts that you've been posting lately. If they've come out, I haven't been able to, but I will try to catch up when I'm
Okay.
back in LA.
Me too.
Yeah, because I listen to them
Yeah.
usually when I drive is my best way to listen to podcasts. And working from home back here in sunny / rainy, cloudy Ohio is not optimal for podcast listening. But I'll get back to that. But I can digress. Alex, thank you again for the offer for the Real Short Box to showcase and give away some free comic books autographed by you, which would be great. So thank you very much.
I would love a copy. Just throwing it out
Monty,
there. I would
there you
love
go.
one.
Monty would like a copy. So definitely let us know. Send it out my way. Let me know. Text me.
I posted
we'll
a
talk
link
about it.
for the comic for the information.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. And Sammy, suck rotten eggs. Let's see. Anything else I'm missing? Geez, I don't know. I guess I would like to thank our guests again. I would like to thank Tracy for popping in so quickly for us due to Chris's illness, and thank you again. I hope Chris feels better. I also want to thank the Millersburg Brewing Company for tonight's companionship of the Jolene Jolie Red Ale. Now look at this beautiful artwork that they did on this can. Look at this beautiful young lady
Very cool.
that's on this can. Very well done. Very well done. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate Ohio for being such a gracious state host for me while I've been back. It's been very nice to reconnect with people. I played my first game of frisbee golf this evening, so that was interesting. I'd never done that before. It was a lot of fun, actually. So I appreciate that. Thanks to Brian from Half's Hot Sauce for bringing me out for that. Try his killer pickle. Go to halfshotsauce.com. Go to splatteredfrog.com and check out Josh's Nano Brewery. Grab some pint glasses, some hats, some shirts, etc., and support him as well. And Alex is asking for more drums after Sammy says no drums. That sounds good. That sounds good. My mom says thank you all. It was fun. Thank you,
Thank you.
for watching and listening.
Yeah.
And perhaps, again, thank you to Monty for popping in. We really appreciate you being a guest on tonight. It's always fun having you, buddy. You're a
I
very
appreciate it.
great and gracious guest on this, so we appreciate you. And perhaps if you all are thirsty, you can crack open a nice can of. Kevin, take it away.
Rumble Pod.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night. Next week, we may or may not have a show. It's just going to be really dependent upon me, to be honest, and where I'm at with my flux on back and forth. So take care. Appreciate you very much. And again, if there's somebody you haven't reached out to in a while, somebody you haven't spoken to, please feel free to do so. Reach out to them. Reach out to your loved ones. Tell
Life
them
is
that you
short.
care about them.
You
Life
love
is
them.
very short. So love yourself and love each other. Have a good night.